Good morning and welcome to this edition of Inside Cottonwood. I am Ron Corbin, Cottonwood City Manager, and today we have Jak Teel from our Parks and Rec Superintendent from our Parks and Rec Department.
Yes,
Good morning,
sir.
Jak. How
Good
are you
morning.
doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. We've got a full agenda today. We're going to talk about some things that the city's getting ready to host through Parks and Rec coming up. We've got a basketball camp we're going to talk about. We have a volleyball tournament coming up. And then we have a brand new event, a New Year's Eve family-friendly event at the Rec Center, of course, at the end of the month. And then I'll wrap up at the end of the day briefly talking, giving a heads up to some upcoming budget. The city started their budget process again, so we'll wrap up with that. But let's get started. Let's talk about, and one other, I almost forgot, the real reason we were even here, going to be here today, and that was to talk about Christmas and giving back to the community. We've got a great community. We have a lot of people in need, and so people always want to know how they can give. And Jak, over at the Rec Center, you guys are working with Toys for Tots.
Yeah.
And why don't you tell us, I understand the registration deadline, if you want to receive a gift, is passed, but we're still accepting gifts. Why don't you tell us how someone can help if they want to help with Toys for Tots?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different areas in which you can help with the Toys for Tots. At the Recreation Center, as soon as you walk in, right next to our guest services counter, you'll see that we have a Toys for Tots collection box there, where anybody at any point in time can come in and drop off a gift that they'd like to be donated to the Toys for Tots program. The only thing we ask is that gift is unwrapped and that it is about $15 value, so that way when we give those away to those kids and we wrap them, it's something that they get to be excited about, something that they're looking forward to, and something that they want. And we do those, although it's typically only from November through now, we'll take them all year long. If you bring it in, you let us know this is what you want it to go to, we'll get it into the right hands.
So, like I said, I believe it's a need, and I've been to the Rec Center a few times, and the box is overflowing. But I was surprised. You gave me some numbers earlier. You guys gave away a lot of toys last year. I wanted almost 5,000 individual toys, and over 1,200 kids were served last year.
Toys for Tots is a big program, and here in the Verde Valley, it is humongous as well. So like you said, last year they had about 5,000, just shy of 5,000 toys given away between us and Camp Verde and Clarkdale and Beaver Creek and all the areas that go into our side of the mountain, which was about 1,200 kids last year, and it's if not going to be bigger this year.
Wow, that's a lot of kids. So for those of you new to the area, I didn't realize how it works, and so Toys for Tots has the whole gym reserved for a day this Friday, the 20th?
Correct, yeah. So we start this process early in the year working with Chris Vogler. She lets us know the date they'd like to do it. And we block off the gym at the Recreation Center that entire day. And that morning we'll get there, we'll start setting it up. We'll set up the 50 tables for all the cookies, the food, where people'd like to sit, all the areas for the toys. We set up Santa's spot, so when he gets in, he has a place to go sit with he and Mrs. Claus.
Oh, you have Santa there.
Yeah, we have Santa there. We decorate a big old tree, so the Parks and Recreation team is busy Friday morning, or will be Friday. We set up stanchions to create lines for everybody to go through, and it really is just a fantastic, wonderful event that does really great for our community.
So unfortunately, no pickleball that day then. The indoor pickleball courts will be closed.
Yeah, no pickleball that day. If you'd like to play, we always play outside. We have those courts out on the tennis court.
Right.
But this is something that the pickleballers all love. They oftentimes will come and help set up tables and stuff if they're there. And they really are a great group, and a lot of them help donate to this program. So
very nice. And you said, who was the chair or the main contact for the Verde Valley?
Chris Vogler is our contact for this program here.
And if you wanted to volunteer or give back, do you know how to get a hold of her?
Yeah, there's a couple different ways. If you go onto the toysfortots.org website, you can link through the Yavapai County site, but you can always email Toys for Tots.
I have it here. I had to look it up while you were talking. That was a time buyer, but it's Verde Valley Toys for Tots. For spelled out, gmail.com would be a great way to get a hold of her, or 928-862-0000. So she's our leader in the area. You also mentioned earlier before we got on the air that the fire department helps out. How does our Cottonwood Fire Department, how do they help out?
Our fire department has been fantastic in previous years. Anytime they're not on our call, they're always over there helping out, whether it's bringing the bikes over that are stored in their public safety building, helping set up the room, helping hand out those toys, and creating that special environment. Sometimes they'll bring their firefighter hats that they can give to kids while they're there.
Oh, very
and they
nice.
really do a great job of coming over and helping out with this program.
Well, it's a great community event, and the Parks and Rec team, you and Hez and everybody over there giving back to the community. There's one other event that currently we're done with, but I just want to brag a little bit about our community, and that's the Angel Tags.
Yeah.
So you guys have this beautiful tree in front of the rec center, and I've gone in there to get a tag, and it's been empty. And then the next day I come in, and it's filled up again, and before I come back, it's empty again. So what is the Angel Tag tree, and how does it work this year?
Yeah, so it's, again, a really fantastic program that is put on, and we work with the Cottonwood Oak Creek School District to make this program go. They identify angels in our community who are in need of specific items, and they give us that information on a spreadsheet, not names or things like that, but the age of who they are. So the tag I got this year was 10-year-old boy, size 10 clothes, liked red, blue, black, needed socks and underwear. So we got to go out and we got to go shopping a little bit, and it was really fun looking to get those things. And you bring it all back to the recreation center, unwrapped, we wrap it for you, we get it over to the school district, and they get it out to those kids. What I'm really proud about is we were able to take more tags this year than what we ever had in the past, to my knowledge. Last year, we were able to serve 83, which is no small feat.
No.
But this year, our community really stepped it up, and we had over 105 tags that were taken and
Wow.
cared for this year.
So that's 105 kids in our community that will have something that they asked for from those tags. And again, we provided the opportunity, but it's really our community members, people who came into the recreation center and really gave back. Well, that's very, very exciting. And while we're talking about Parks and Rec, they do an outstanding job with a lot of different things. And a lot of the stuff you're able to do because of the Youth Commission. Now, tell me a little bit about the Youth Commission.
Yeah, our Youth Commission is fantastic. It's filled with a bunch of strong, young, up-and-coming leaders in our community from 8th grade through senior years in high school. It's a committee of 13 with one of our staff liaisons. Kayla Mack, our Youth Programs Coordinator, is the staff liaison for them. But they do all sorts of things in the Valley, and through no small feat, we were out this month, or this last 30 days, rather, has been jam-packed with things. They helped out with the turkey drive. You were up there on the truck. You know?
I was up on the truck, and it was cold and it was windy, but I don't remember the number, but almost 30 turkeys came in that hour, so I was very happy to do that. But you're right, they were out there all afternoon collecting donations and food, and that went to the mission, right?
The mission, yeah. And then we've helped out in the past with their food drive outside of Safeway. That just happened this last Saturday. We did pictures with Santa on Friday for that. We helped decorate the Christmas parade float. So we decorated the tree outside of the clubhouse for the City of Cottonwood's tree lighting ceremony. And these young gentlemen and ladies coming through that program are fantastic. They do a lot of really great things, and a lot of them are involved in a lot of different clubs as well. So to be able to put this one as a priority and help do all these great events, I'm really proud of those individuals. Yeah,
they are quite the group that give back to our community. Very proud to be associated with them. Well, so Youth Commission, we've talked about so far the wonderful Toys for Tots program. People can still drop things off. Of course, the Angel Tags, which is already complete, but we're giving back to the community. Now, when we come back, we're going to take a short little break here. When we come back, we've got a couple other big things happening before the end of the year. We have a basketball camp, and then we have a volleyball tournament, and then we have a new event, yet another new event that our Young Youth Commission are going to help put on with the recreation team. And I think it might have something to do with New Year's Eve, but we'll talk about that when we come back.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.org.
Welcome back to another Inside Edition. I am Ron Corbin, Cottonwood City Manager, and today's guest is Jak Teel, our Parks and Rec Superintendent over in our Parks Department. So welcome, Jak. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So today we've been talking about a couple different things. We've talked about Toys for Tots, we talked about the Angel Tags, and we were bragging about the Youth Commission. But there's some other big events coming up over at the Rec Center. You guys, you know, in the wintertime you'd think it'd slow down a little bit, but you guys are going full force. So let's talk first about, you have a basketball camp coming up. What's that about?
Yeah, so we were approached through a young lady in our community who said she'd like to come in and do this basketball camp. So we said, okay, well, let's see how. So we sat down and we started discussing what our goal was for the camp and what we wanted to do, and we ultimately came up with this. And all the credit to her for the name. She came up with the Jingle Ballers basketball camp name.
Hold on. We got to slow down and say that clearly. One more time. What it's called, the
Jingle Ballers basketball camp.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty fun and a good way to get the kids excited about coming in and doing it. But Heather Calandra, who has put this program together, has been a long-standing member in our community, really well known on the sports side, has a ton of records through the Mingus Union High School track and field program.
Okay.
Could outshot put anybody in the state as far as I know. But she came to us and said she'd like to do this program, so we took it as an opportunity to create partnerships there, and it would help having a good volunteer coach who knows all these things, who's played at the college level, bring some of those skills and those thought processes here to Cottonwood for this basketball camp. So between winter break, when the kids get out this week on the 20th, through going back in early January, we're going to have a couple different dates for kids to come in and hone in on their basketball skills, hone in on those things, and have a couple opportunities to play games and scrimmages with a collegiate level basketball player.
Well, that sounds exciting, and being the city manager, I'll go back to the strategic plan and the council. We just had our retreat here recently, and partnerships with the community are spot on. I don't give you a lot of money in your budget, as you know very well, and so you're still able to get things done through partnerships. And city government doesn't have to do everything, and we really want to help others do great things. And this is an example of Heather giving back to the community that she grew up in. It sounded like she went to Mingus High and
Absolutely.
Broke some records, I hear.
Yeah.
So she's coming back and giving back to the community. What a great thing to do. So who's eligible? When do you have to register? And how long is the camp?
Yeah, so although we really would like people to register early, it really is just so we can get a head count, know how many balls we need to get out there, know how many lines, how many volunteer coaches we have to find. You don't have to absolutely register in advance. If you show up, we're not going to turn you away.
So where would you register at if you wanted to register?
If you wanted to register, there's a link on all of our flyers. It's a Google form that we have. So if you get on all of our flyers, it's on the city's Facebook page and the Parks and Recreation Facebook page. You can just click that hyperlink and that'll take you to that form. Or if you come by the Recreation Center, any one of our guest service members or anyone on our Parks and Rec team can help get you taken care of there. Or if you see our flyer out and about, there's a link right there on that. It's a mouthful to get out here.
No, go to cottonwoodaz.gov, our Parks and Rec Department's webpage, or any of our Facebook. So again, it's this weekend. Which weekend is it?
It starts this weekend.
Okay.
December 23rd is going to be the first date.
Okay.
And we're going to do every Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday over break.
Okay. So actually Monday, not this weekend.
Yeah,
sorry. The Monday following this weekend. No, that was my bad. So and it's for grades 6, 7, and 8th.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, boys and girls?
Boys and girls. It's free to everybody. You don't have to be inside the city limits. We, of course, love when all of our city participants come out and our community comes out. But we don't want to exclude people from this. So if you want to come on and get really good high-level basketball training, this is a great opportunity for you to do that.
Awesome. Okay, well, again, it starts next Monday, the 23rd. Get onto the cottonwoodaz.gov, onto our Parks and Rec website, and sign up, and we hope to see you there. And again, a shout out to Heather for giving back to the community. I appreciate that. So this weekend is the next event I was going to talk about, and that is a volleyball tournament. So for those that are still young in spirit, at least, what is this about?
Yeah, it's a big holiday volleyball tournament. Again, we were approached by another community member and said, hey, we'd like an opportunity to play during the break, and there's a lot of us coming back from school, and we think this would be a great time to do it. So we started to look at it and see when was doable, and we ended up settling on the 29th, actually.
Not this weekend. I don't know what this weekend is about.
Yeah.
Besides that, depending on when you're watching this, you won't know when next weekend is. So I should stop using those phrases. So the 29th?
29th, yes.
10 to 6.
Yep.
Pre-registration?
It is a pre-registration. We have to limit this to only 8 teams due to confinement of space. We have 2 courts that we have availability to use.
Indoors, I'm assuming,
indoors,
at the rec center?
Yep, it'll both be at the recreation center. Both sides of the gym will have programmed going on. And the reason we can't open it up more is about every volleyball game takes about an hour. And
a volleyball game takes an hour?
We have them for 55 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I've never quite been good enough to make a game go that long. The Rec Center League last year, I think our games were over rather quickly.
Sometimes you guys had some good volleys in there. Yeah.
Okay, so double elimination, so you get your money's worth.
Yep.
And I think I saw $10 per person.
Yep.
How many people minimum on a team?
So it's a $10 per player on your roster.
Okay.
You need a minimum of 6, but we'll take 10 players if you need to.
Okay.
Usually I try to keep it closer to 6 so those rotations are limited. But
right.
Hey, if
or
you
if you're my age and you want more rotations out, then the more players are better. So again, that is the Saturday the 29th, $10 per person, 6-person minimum here at our rec center. Same kind of thing, go on to our website, Parks and Rec.
Yeah. Because this is limited to 8 players and you have to sign up on a roster, you actually have to come into the facility to get the roster.
Oh, okay.
Once you get the roster, you can bring it back the day of. We're not going to make you come back again. And if there's space, you can sign up day of. That's just something that they're going to have to roll the dice and see.
Okay. Well, very good. And then again, you don't have to be resident, residents, non-residents. Pay the $10. We'll take your money.
Yep.
And you're good to go. And I'm assuming one of the reasons for that is we got to pay for referees.
That's exactly it. It's to offset the cost of what our staff time is, and then hopefully, bring a little cash flow into that facility.
Yeah, absolutely. You know how Ron feels about that. I always like a little cash flow into that.
It's a small step in that direction, but
absolutely. Yeah. And $10 is reasonable for a tournament all day Saturday. All right, well, maybe I'll see some of you there. Maybe I won't. I usually can't get that many volunteers to be on my team, so if you're competitive, don't come see me. So the one event that I really do want to talk about, spend a little bit of time talking about, is the New Year's Eve event. Now you're trying something new this year, so why don't you tell us what the Parks and Rec Department has signed up for?
Yeah, so we were asked this year to look at adding new things to the program, and so we started sitting down looking at our calendar and said, well, where else could we add something that would provide a benefit to our community? And unanimously, we ended up choosing New Year's.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Hard break. Oh, hate to leave you hanging, folks, but when we come back, I'm going to let him finish that sentence of what we're going to be doing on New Year's Eve here in Cottonwood. See you when you come back.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.org.
Good morning and welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I am Ron Corbin, the Cottonwood City Manager, and today we have Jak Teel from Parks and Rec. How are you doing, Jak?
Doing really well, thank you.
All right, we're on the home stretch, and I was rude and I cut you off. Right before we left, you started telling us about something the Parks and Rec team is doing for New Year's. Why don't you go ahead and take it?
Got it. So we have a New Year's Eve program we've got coming up December 31st this year.
Okay.
It's brand new to our schedule of events, so we're excited to get it done. And one of the things we're trying to do is really create that spectacle that our community can all gather around. You go other places, they have boot drops places, they have pine cone drops places, they've got all these other things. So we're trying to do something for our community that's similar to that, but it was important to us to make sure we can do it family oriented. So we wanted to do it at the 10 o'clock, celebrate the New York New Year's here in our area, so it would give families times to come out, have fun, and still be able to get home in a reasonable hour. And then if you want to celebrate Arizona New Year's, you can do that at your house. So we've got a lot of really fun things coming on. We're going to take over the Recreation Center from 6 to 10, and it's going to be open and free to anybody in the public. We're going to have family games there. We're going to have a big 5-foot Jenga set there. We're going to be showing movies.
5-foot Jenga, that's big.
Yeah, it's big. I tried to build it so it'd be fun for everybody to do. So it's going to be 5 feet when you stack it.
Oh, okay.
5 feet
I was
when you
like,
stack it.
that's a big board game. So you're going to have that board game there.
Mm-hmm.
Now you said it was free to get into the rec center then from 6 to 10 that night?
Yeah, free to get into the Recreation Center that night.
Very nice.
Participating in our program.
Oh, okay.
So those of us looking to get our pump on at the gym, that's not going to be
Still
available
need to check
right
in.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Again, it's the 31st. Very family friendly, so no alcohol.
no alcohol.
Okay.
We'll have other refreshments there. We'll have some hot chocolate. We'll have candy, or cotton candy. We'll have popcorn, things like that. We're looking at getting some apple cider there for the people who aren't hot chocolate drinkers.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do some Martinelli's, the sparkling ciders for the balloon drop. We'll have somebody over there pouring some into a cup. So if you'd like to toast to the New Year's, we'll have that available for you as well.
Okay, so to run through it, in the front half of the rec center, the recreation center, if you haven't been there, you have these beautiful conference rooms that can be rented out, by the way, the reasonable price. Contact us on our website or give us a call. We'd be happy to rent out the rec center conference rooms for you, but we're going to use those for the first, I think I heard movies. So
Yep.
you're going to be playing movies, and then you can have games in one room, and I missed what the last room was going to be.
So we're going to take over that entire hallway in the Cottonwood room with that nice, beautiful big projector. We're going to be showing holiday movies there.
Okay.
The Mingus room will have a bunch of cornhole set up.
Cornhole, that was
yeah.
the one. And you need to be practicing because if I remember correctly, the Old Town Association is going to be hosting another cornhole tournament come the summertime.
Yep, they will. So this is a good time to come on out and see where you rank. And look at everybody and practice some of those throws and get
All
that
right.
studying in.
And then the board games, including the 5-foot
Jenga, yeah. So that's going to be in the Verde room down there at the end. And really we're trying to create an atmosphere where families can go and play games and spend time with each other. And then we'll have the pool open as well. So if you want to go
the
swim.
pool, like swimming pool?
Swimming pool,
So
yep.
that lazy river thing will be going and
Yes,
the play
sir.
area the kids can play in?
Yep.
Well, that's very nice. And again, that's from 6 to 10?
6 to 10, we're taking over the rec center.
Awesome. Now, there's something else going on in the basketball area, in the actual gymnasium. What's going to happen in there?
Yeah, so that we're going to have that divider down. It's going to be broken into two sides of the gym. The left side is where we're going to be doing our balloon drop, and you're just
Balloon
gonna
drop.
You're going to have to come out to see that one. We're going to suspend 2,000 balloons in the ceiling through a net, and then as that New Year's comes along, we're going to cut that, and those balloons are going to flawlessly all drop down.
Well,
and we're all going to celebrate the New Year's.
I appreciate your optimism there, but just no counting the balloons. We reserve the right to change that number depending on how
my
much
lungs
hot
feel.
air we have at the end of that event. And then the other half, I'm assuming, will be open for either basketball or something.
Yeah, it's going to be open.
sports.
We'll have some sort of games going over there, whether that's medic or dodgeball or basketball or something. We'll have it over there for families to go and enjoy as well.
Awesome. It sounds like it will be a great family-friendly event. Again, no alcohol, parents, if you want to go home and with your babysitters and then go out after that, feel free. But we're going to do 10 o'clock. We'll pull the cord or cut the cord or whatever it ends up being to do something to drop several thousand balloons. We'll leave it at that, a whole lot of balloons. Very excited about this year. The other thing, and I don't know if a lot of people know, I'll give a little sneak peek. I believe that next year is our 60th anniversary as a town. So look more about that here coming up. So just to wrap up what we've talked about for Parks and Rec, we've talked about this upcoming Friday. We have the Toys for Tot, where Santa Claus will be present. Pre-registration is required, but if you want to drop off toys, they should feel free to do that. And then we have a volleyball tournament coming up soon. Again, go to our website. We have a basketball camp for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders coming up.
Correct.
And then we have our New Year's Eve event here at our Parks and Rec department that we're very excited about it. So before we go, though, and before I ask you the last question that I'm going to surprise you with here in just a second, I do want to give a heads up that the budget process for the City of Cottonwood begins very soon. The internal process has already begun, but we'll be beginning our external stakeholders meetings here in the next couple months. We'll begin to set our priorities upcoming. We are beginning to make some financial projections. It's way early. Our finance director, Kirsten, doesn't like to project this early, but we had our city council retreat here recently, and things are looking pretty positive for the city. I think that 2020 is a year that is going to be pretty great for Cottonwood, and I look forward to being a part of that. So stay tuned. More will be coming about that. I will tell you that if you want to reach out to the City of Cottonwood, again, go onto our webpage. And if you'd like for Mr. Rodriguez, the Deputy City Manager, or myself, or Kirsten, to come out to your civic organization, we'd be happy to do that to talk about the budget. But again, we'll have an Inside Cottonwood edition probably in February on the budget, but we look forward. So before we go, I always ask my guests, and I think, Jak, this is our first time to have you on. So we have a motto, our saying in the City of Cottonwood is inspiring a vibrant community. So how do you inspire a vibrant community? What do you do, or what do you think inspires Cottonwood?
So I think there's a lot of opportunity I have in my position to inspire a vibrant community. I'm very fortunate to where I get to work with a lot of our community members, as my office is in the Recreation Center. So one thing I do to help inspire that community is I listen. I hear what it is people want, and I try to deliver on those needs. And that's exactly how we got to two of the programs we talked about today. That basketball camp as well as the volleyball camp were brought to us from members of our community saying, Jak, we'd like to do this. So it's my job to figure out how. And that's how I try to inspire a vibrant community. I try to figure out what the needs are, where we're missing, and how we can implement those in my position.
Well, you're fortunate. Not all of us get to work in Parks and Rec, where we get to do fun stuff most of the time. And I'll say that you and your team and Hez and Rudy, Deputy City Manager Rodriguez, is doing a fantastic job over there, inspiring a vibrant community, and I really appreciate it. So thank you, Jak. I appreciate it again. Feel free to stop by at the Rec Center on New Year's Eve from 6 to 10 when we do a family-friendly New Year's Eve event. Until next time, I'm Ron Corbin, and this is Inside Cottonwood.